Okay, we're going to create a new test in Aware by copying a test that has already been created. So when you log in as Christy, you'll need to click on the Aware. And then when you copy this test, or even when you create a new test, you need to create it from the Manage tab. Don't create it from the Test tab. So we're going to go click on the Manage tab, go up to Administer Test, and down to the bottom to Create a Test. And then out of our list, we're going to copy an existing test and click Next. And then we need to go find the old test. So in Teacher Tests 2012, 2013, that's where most of y'all's old tests are. So we're going to do Unit 2, Week 1, and just make it orange, and then click Next. And then up here you can change the name. We're going to go ahead and add in second grade reading so that we know what this test is for, and then we'll delete the from Kristen Jenkins and make it an assessment. It's second grade, and then the start date's fine. You need to change the end date. You can either make it a couple of months later, or I usually just change the year because it's faster. And then on the test type, you want to make sure you select CBA so that it goes in the CBA folder. And then click Next. And then click Finish. Okay, and then it's going to bring you to this screen. If you need to edit your test name, you can do that here. Make sure it's in the CBA folder. You can either make this say English Language Arts or Reading. It doesn't matter. We'll leave it ELAR. Second grade, Satisfactory, we usually do a 70. Advanced is 90, so that's all good. So then you can go up to the Curriculum tab, double check and make sure the Questions tab. You can double check to make sure your TEKS are attached to your questions. If you come across an old test that isn't ABCD and it has the FGHJ and you want to switch that, remember it's this alternate button right here. On the campuses, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can do the drop down and click second grade and then let it load. It'll blink at you when it's finished making changes. Okay, and then Students is the most important tab because this is where if you do it wrong, some of your other teachers aren't going to be able to see the test. So you need to do Students in Selected Courses, and then the course name that we use is going to be the one that pulls from your gradebook because Eduphoria talks to Skyward. So once it kind of blinks at you, it's already set to ELAR. So you just need to double check to ELAR for second grade ELAR, and then to resource ELAR. I don't know if your resource kids will need to take this test, but they will have access to it if you check that. And then always hit save just so that I make sure this page saves because we made changes on it. And wait for it to blink. And then go to the administration. So here you can double check your start and end date. If you're using the bubble sheet, this is where you'll select your options. On this right here, this is real important for your teachers to be able to put in their own answer choices. So under teacher submission, you need to click teachers may answer all questions, or it's not going to let them change the questions for each student's test. And then down here, you want to allow online testing and allow teachers to enable online testing for their classes. And sometimes when it blinks at you, things don't get checked. Like I pushed that, but it didn't. So you have to double check and make sure that it stays that way. And then the testing style you want to do interactive. That's the one where it does one question at a time. So hopefully they don't mess up. So allow online, allow teachers to enable it, and it's interactive. And then that page is good to go. You hit save and wait for it to blink. And then the most important thing you need to do at the end is to go up and make it active, or your team is not going to be able to see the test. And then it's going to pull it out of this pending folder and put it in this active folder. Okay. So now I'm in the active folder and here's my test. If you need to come back to this test later, like let's say you forgot to put that your teachers can answer all the questions, you just go to the Manage tab, you go to Administer Test, click on CBA, and then Active Administration, 2nd grade, ELAR, find your test, go to that tab, check the button, and click Save, and it should fix that problem. Same thing if you forget to do this part right here. You just go back to Manage, Administer, go find your test, do the students, and then make sure these boxes are checked, hit Save, and that should let everybody on your team see your test. Now to activate your test, to activate online testing, just go click on the Analyze button and the test available, just like you would for anything else. And here's our new Unit 2 Week 1. And we're going to click on it, and you can either do both classes at the same time or you can do one at a time. Click on this Start Online Testing down here. Here's the testing path that you're going to need to put in your internet browser for your students to go to. That's the web address. So if you need to copy that, but just click on Start and it will start and they'll be able to log in.